Oh, I want that picture.
Hello.
They came with their tanks and their planes, with ravaging fiery flames, and nothing remains, just a voice rising up in the smoky haze. We will not go down in the night without a fight.
Today, outside the headquarters of the British security firm G4S, to demand freedom for the Palestinian lawyer Muhammed Alan, who is approaching death, currently in a coma, after 60 days on hunger strike without any food or any nutrients. Muhammed, a 31-year-old lawyer from Nablus in the occupied West Bank, was abducted by Israel 9 months ago. He has been caged since then, without charge or trial, on never-ending rolling detention orders. As punishment for going on hunger strike, he was locked up in solitary confinement at Ayala prison near Tel Aviv until his condition deteriorated, forcing them to transfer him to a hospital. After 60 days without food, last night Muhammad lost consciousness and fell into a coma. His lungs have failed and he is now breathing through a ventilator. He has lost his ability to move and is now nearly blind and deaf. Just before he fell into a coma, he was vomiting blood. In this critical condition, Israel mercilessly keeps Muhammad chained with his hand and foot, shackled to the hospital bed. He is surrounded by 3 Israeli prison guards who hurt him, causing him injuries. Muhammed Allan has left a 4-page will which he wrote whilst being tormented and shackled to his hospital bed. The Israeli government has made it very clear that it intends to force-feed Muhammad. The World Medical Association has described force-feeding of hunger strikers as tantamount to torture. As Muhammed Allan struggles to stay alive and win his freedom, it is our duty as human beings around the world to demand justice for Muhammed Allan, to demand freedom for Muhammed Allan, and to demand freedom for Palestine. Shame on you, Israel! Shame on Israel! Free Muhammed Allan! Free Palestine! On the 30th of July 2015, the Israeli parliament approved a law permitting the force feeding of Palestinian hunger strikers in Israeli prisons. Israel's internal security minister, Gilad Erdan, who led the bill, justified it by writing, alongside attempts to boycott and delegitimize Israel, hunger strikes of terrorists in prisons have become a means to threaten Israel. The World Medical Association has described force feeding of hunger strikers as tantamount to torture. Physicians for Human Rights says the bill legalizes torture and gross violations of medical ethics and international conventions, noting that between 1970 and 1992, when Israel permitted such force feeding, 5 Palestinian prisoners died whilst being force-fed. Muhammed Alan was transferred on the 10th of August 2015 to Barzilai Medical Center in Ashkelon from Soroka University Medical Center in Beersheba after it didn't comply with orders to force-feed Muhammed Alan. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has decided to build a special unit in Barzilai to force-feed hunger-striking detainees, but so far, Barzilai Hospital has also refused to participate in torture through force-feeding. Free Muhammed Alan!
Free Muhammed Alan!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Today there are around 450 administrative detainees, most of them, like Muhammed Alan, having been transferred from the West Bank into Israel in contravention of Article 76 of the 4th Geneva Convention, with their families being prevented from visiting them. Statistics from last year revealed that G4S secures most of the prisons where Israel cages administrative detainees. Last year, 86% of administrative detainees were caged in G4S secured Israeli prisons. So G4S is totally complicit in Israel's crimes against Palestinian prisoners, including administrative detention.
On Monday, the 10th of August, doctors of Barzilai Hospital to force-feed Muhammed Allan on a hunger strike for 60 consecutive days. The Israeli Patients Act prohibits force-feeding, a form of torture, also protested by Israeli Medical Association, a form of torture that has been condemned by the World Medical Association. Inhuman, amounting to torture. The chairman of the Israeli Medical Association Ethic Division started a press conference held on Monday that force-feeding is a brutal, forceful and invasive practice that can kill the prisoner. It can rip the esophagus or introduce food into his lungs, causing death by suffocation. Force-feeding is a torture and it's forbidden under any human rights law. And it is in violation of the Geneva Convention. Common Article 3rd of the Geneva Convention states that all detainees are entitled to minimal protection. As if earlier today, Muhammed Allan has fallen into coma. Until now, he has been denied family visits. His elderly mother has desperately trying to catch a glimpse of her beloved son. She is determined not to live without Muhammad, who is being handcuffed and shackled to his bed with 6 soldiers in his room. Be the voice for justice and the oppressed and victimized. Don't be silent. Stop Israeli terrorism. Stop the torture. Your voice, your choice.